Like I said earlier, they actually had odds that, she was like third or fourth in the betting odds to be MVP of the WNBA. That's such a slap in the face to every WNBA player. It's unbelievable.
Geno Auriemma, a Hall of Fame coach known for his strong opinions, has found himself at the center of controversy regarding Caitlin Clark. For years, Auriemma was one of Clark's most vocal critics, openly questioning her future in the WNBA and dismissing her fan base as delusional. However, Clark defied expectations with a stellar rookie season, leaving critics in awe and solidifying her place as a basketball star. In a surprising turn of events, Auriemma has completely reversed his stance, now offering Clark excessive praise, a move that has shocked many. This sudden shift has raised questions about his motives, leading fans to wonder whether Auriemma's admiration is genuine or simply a strategic response to Clark's undeniable success.
The college career that Caitlin had ignited a tremendous amount of attention, an incredible phenomenon that very rarely happens, and it certainly changed the landscape, no question.
Is Geno Auriemma's sudden admiration for Caitlin Clark genuine, or is there another motive behind it? Rumors suggest his shift in opinion may be linked to a recent investment that could influence both his legacy and Clark's future. What's fueling Auriemma's dramatic change? The truth might be unexpected.
It's the worst part about new fans. They have no perspective. There's no context. So they just say ridiculous nonsense.
Geno Auriemma has never shied away from voicing strong opinions, even when it means clashing with the brightest young basketball talents. One of his most notable targets has been Caitlin Clark, the fiery Indiana Fever rookie. Auriemma's sharp critiques of Clark began during her standout days at Iowa, solidifying her as a frequent topic in his commentary.
The delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart. There were actually odds on she's third or fourth in betting odds on being MVP of the WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's basketball a bad name. Okay, so the kid was set up for failure right from the beginning.
Caitlin Clark's decision to choose Iowa over UConn as one of the nation's top recruits struck a personal chord with Geno Auriemma, whose program had dominated women's basketball for decades. But Clark didn't just reject UConn. She made Auriemma regret it on the court. In the 2024 NCAA Final Four, Clark led Iowa to a shocking upset over UConn, cementing her legacy as a generational talent. While fans celebrated her performance, Auriemma wasn't convinced. Following her collegiate success, he appeared on a major sports talk show, casting doubt on her WNBA future. He mocked her fan base as delusional, arguing that Clark wasn't built for the league's physicality, lacked the necessary speed, and that her style of play wouldn't translate. His sharp criticism only added fuel to the fire, intensifying the debate around Clark's potential in the professional ranks.
But it's funny to listen to the Fever management moan about physical fouls whenever, anytime I moan about the game being too physical. There's always somebody on that staff saying that I'm so what goes around comes around.
Auriemma didn't hold back, questioning Caitlin Clark's ability to adjust to the faster pace of professional basketball. He criticized her reliance on deep, high-risk shots, dismissing them with, "Those circus threes won't work in this league." Even UConn legend Diana Taurasi echoed his concerns, citing Clark's style potentially struggling against tougher WNBA defenders.
And Diana said it best, "This kid's in for a rude awakening."
Caitlin Clark let her game do the talking. In her rookie WNBA season, she electrified the league, averaging 19.2 points, a league-leading 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game. Her stellar performances propelled the Indiana Fever to their first playoff appearance since 2016, earning her Rookie of the Year honors and a spot on the All-WNBA First Team. Along the way, Clark shattered 62 records, delivering historic numbers that left a lasting impact. Geno's earlier critiques quickly turned into social media fodder as fans mercilessly mocked his comments. Memes flooded the internet, contrasting his harsh words with Clark's incredible highlight reels. "How's that physicality looking now, Geno?" one tweet quipped, alongside a clip of Clark draining a deep three over towering defenders. Another viral post featured a collage of his scathing quotes captioned, "This aged well, like milk." With each game, the chorus of praise for Clark grew louder, leaving her doubters, including Auriemma, in the shadow of her undeniable success.
This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league, and she's a rookie.
In a surprising twist, Geno Auriemma has transformed from skeptic to superfan, now praising Caitlin Clark as a game-changer and incredible phenomenon. But what's driving this sudden change?
So I love her. I think she's the best player. Forget I ever said Paige is the best player in the country. I think she's the best player of all time.
Did you ever imagine Geno Auriemma, the same coach who once called Caitlin Clark's fans delusional, now praising her as better than Paige Buecher's? That's exactly what's happening, and it's left everyone questioning his sudden admiration. Is Geno genuinely this impressed, or is there more to this unexpected love fest? Let's break it down, starting with his new description of Clark as an incredible phenomenon.
Incredible phenomenon that very rarely happens, and it certainly changed the landscape, no question.
According to Geno Auriemma, Caitlin Clark isn't just a great player. She's a once-in-a-lifetime talent who's revolutionizing women's basketball. He recently remarked that her deep threes and fearless leadership are no longer seen as risky or unsustainable, but groundbreaking. It's almost ironic how quickly time can change perspectives, right? And then there's her undeniable leadership.
The sign of a really, really good player is someone who can have an impact on the game when they don't necessarily shoot it. They can do other things to help your team win.
This is the same Geno Auriemma who once questioned Caitlin Clark's ability to play a team-first style of basketball. Now he's practically putting her in the Basketball Hall of Fame for her ability to elevate her teammates. He highlighted moments from her rookie season, noting that she doesn't just make flashy plays, she makes everyone around her believe they can win. And that's not all. Let's talk about her fierce competitiveness.
I think the one thing they have in common is their competitiveness. The way they transcend their team even. It's like there isn't anything they think they can't do. You can tell, Caitlin thinks there's not a shot that she can't make. There's not a play that she can't.
Geno Auriemma now says Caitlin Clark's fire doesn't just fuel her own team. It's driving the entire league forward. He describes it as the kind of passion you can't teach, calling her the player who embodies the future of women's basketball. For someone who once doubted her ability to handle the WNBA's physicality, this turnaround feels like Geno is trying to rewrite his own history with her.
Team starts to feel like that as well. So they're dangerous not because of what Caitlin does, but what somebody like her infuses on the rest of their team. That's what's cool about it.
Geno Auriemma, known for rarely admitting anyone is better than his own players, has shocked fans by conceding that Caitlin Clark has raised the bar even higher than Paige Buecher's, his former star at UConn. This admission is a huge deal, considering Geno's history of loyalty to his players. The timing of his comments has raised questions, especially since Geno has a significant financial stake in Unrivaled, a new 3-on-3 basketball league that's aggressively recruiting Clark. Some believe his praise for Clark might be a strategic move to win her over and boost the league's chances of success. While many fans are on board with his views, others suspect there's more to Geno's sudden change of heart as he tries to position himself and his investment in the new league. Is this just admiration or a calculated move to secure Clark's involvement? The debate continues.
Rival League is picking up players and they're getting ready to make a big splash in January with this league.
Is Geno Auriemma's newfound admiration for Caitlin Clark genuine, or is he playing the long game to secure her for his financial interests in Unrivaled? One thing's certain, This story is just getting started. Caitlin Clark, one of the most marketable stars in women's basketball, became the focal point of a high-stakes recruitment effort by Unrivaled, a new basketball league. With millions of dollars and their reputation at stake, the league pulled out all the stops, offering Clark a game-changing deal. Despite their efforts, Clark turned them down. The fallout has been dramatic, sparking intense debate over what went wrong and how this affects the league's future. Fans and insiders alike are questioning if this was a missed opportunity, or if Clark's decision to decline marks a new chapter in her career.
She has decided not to do Unrivaled, even though Aaliyah Boston's doing it, Lexi Hull is doing it, Kate Martin is doing it, and despite all the rumors, and I'm sure the push that was put on her. But Clark has all the leverage in this situation, and I'm not saying she flexed it, but she was comfortable enough in her position to make the decision, and it appears that answer is no.
For those unfamiliar, Unrivaled is a new 3-on-3 basketball league designed to offer WNBA players a high-paying alternative to playing overseas during the off-season. Co-founded by stars like Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart, the league promises six-figure salaries, equity stakes, and a fast-paced format that highlights individual talent. Backed by high-profile investors such as NBA legend Carmelo Anthony, soccer star Alex Morgan, and yes, Geno Auriemma, Unrivaled has one clear goal: to make a splash in its inaugural season.
There's a lot of investors in this league. One investor, been trying to keep quiet about, his investment in the league ever since his comments that he made about a young rookie. Pretty much, had him in the headlines for about a month and a half. That is Geno Auriemma, dog. I'm here to tell you, he's part owner of this league.
Who better to be the face of Unrivaled than Caitlin Clark? From the moment the league was announced, rumors about Clark joining swirled. The league teased her involvement relentlessly, dropping cryptic hints on social media, including references to her iconic jersey number, 22. The excitement reached a fever pitch when they promised game-changing announcements during their roster reveal, leaving fans convinced that Clark would headline the league. But when the dust settled, Caitlin Clark was nowhere to be found. Unrivaled unveiled 34 of its 36 players, leaving 2 wildcard slots open. Fans were outraged, accusing the league of using Clark's name to generate buzz without securing her commitment. One fan tweeted, "That was the most disgusting bait and switch I've ever seen."
Obviously, they've tried to do everything they could to make the most of the situation. They tried to make the most of Caitlin Clark not playing by hinting everything and basically making people think that Caitlin Clark was going to play.
So why didn't Caitlin Clark join Unrivaled? Sources say the league offered her a groundbreaking contract worth over $1 million for an 8-week season, an unheard-of sum in women's basketball. Despite this, Clark turned it down. Her reason? After a nonstop schedule that began with her senior season at Iowa and seamlessly transitioned into her historic WNBA rookie campaign, Clark felt that resting and recharging was more important than the allure of Unrivaled. The failure to land Clark has cast a shadow over the league's launch, with fans becoming skeptical and analysts questioning its chances of success without her star power. As for Geno Auriemma, his investment is looking riskier by the day, and when Clark confirmed she wouldn't be joining, his reaction was definitely noticed by the public. When Caitlin Clark officially turned down Unrivaled, the news hit like a ton of bricks. Not just for fans, but especially for Geno Auriemma. As an investor in the upstart league, he had more than just pride on the line. Without Clark, Unrivaled was missing the star power it needed to make a splash, and Geno's reaction was far from subtle. Sources close to the situation revealed that Geno Auriemma was visibly frustrated when Caitlin Clark's decision became public. While the league continued to hype up its roster reveal, the absence of Clark loomed large. Social media buzz fizzled, and analysts began questioning Unrivaled's ability to gain traction without the one player who could attract casual fans. Losing Caitlin Clark was a massive blow. One commentator said, "She's not just a player, she's a brand," and that brand just said no. After years of criticism from Geno, her no felt like poetic justice. What does this mean for Unrivaled's future? The league's business model was heavily reliant on marquee names like Caitlin Clark to attract sponsors and viewers. Without her, the wildcard slots, once seen as a clever marketing strategy, now appear as a last-minute scramble to fill gaps. Critics are questioning whether the league's ambitious plans, like six-figure salaries and equity stakes, are sustainable without a major star. Caitlin Clark's decision to turn down Geno Auriemma and the Unrivaled League isn't just a headline, it's a defining moment. It serves as a powerful reminder of her growing influence, not just as a player, but as a cultural icon in women's sports. By saying no to Unrivaled, Clark has drawn a firm line between her priorities and the relentless demands of basketball stardom. This move isn't just about Geno or Caitlin herself. It represents the shifting dynamics in women's basketball. Players like Clark are rewriting the rules, showing that they have the power to shape their own narratives and set new standards for what it means to be an athlete in the modern era. Her decision sends a message. Players have agency, and no amount of money can dictate their choices. For Clark, this time is about rest, recreation, family, preparation for her second WNBA season, and, of course, a little golf. For Caitlin Clark, the future couldn't be brighter. With her sights set on an even bigger sophomore season in the WNBA, she's poised to elevate both her game and her influence to the next level. Off the court, her impact continues to grow, solidifying her as a household name that transcends basketball. Meanwhile, the path forward for Geno Auriemma and Unrivaled is far less certain. Can the league recover and find its footing, or will Clark's rejection serve as a cautionary tale for investors betting too heavily on one star? One thing is clear, this story is far from over. Caitlin Clark continues to dominate the headlines, both on and off the court, leaving everyone, including Geno Auriemma, watching and waiting for what she'll do next. As fans, we can't wait to see where this journey takes her. Do you agree? If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.